How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle Rowlets, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, I think we have some massive things we should just take a look at, okay? There's loads of information, so sit back, relax, and let's get started. Now, the first things first is this right here from Soul Silver Arts, saying, no matter what, we're close now. I'm 70% sure we'll get an announcement soon. Now, who is Soul Silver Art? He's one of our local leak analysts and parts of our podcast. He's an individual that's in contact with a lot of, well, interesting people that know information about Pokemon games, but also a really great guy at breaking down leaks and stuff that comes out. So, what is he talking about? Well, he's basing it off of this image that somebody put together that shows that most of all Pokemon reveals do happen. The second reveal, the second trailers that they do usually happen in the period between May 26th and June 1st. Of course, it could happen later than that. I think Soul Silver is predicting it's going to happen next week, around the 1st of June, actually, which would be on the Wednesday, which would be the perfect time for them to do it, technically, because it is on a Wednesday, which is usually the standard day for Pokemon reveals. So, maybe next week, guys. I don't know, but he's assuming it as well. On top of that, you also have Samus Hunter, who is a 50-50 person. You should not take Samus Hunter super seriously all the time, because Samus Hunter can be real or fake with their info, or sorry, correct or wrong with their info a lot of the times. This is a person who's also a kind of leaker of sorts or insider, but doesn't always come with correct information. Just keep that in mind, please. But they say that Pokemon Presents will be before the Nintendo Direct, question mark. They say there are plans for Pokemon news before the Direct. I will go forward to the upcoming week. And then in the second post, somebody asks, when will the June Nintendo Direct take place? And they say, I don't have a precise date yet, but it was planned for mid-June, likely on the 15th or around that, depending on where you live. Which would imply that the Pokemon Direct, of course, has to happen first, which usually is the case, by the way. Pokemon news usually come before Nintendo news. That's just the standard, right? And then usually the Pokemon news that were in the Pokemon news usually show up again in the Direct news. So keep that in mind. But basically, this is all going wild right now, which leads us into another thing by Soul Silver. Again, he's a leak analyst and just analyzes riddles that have been posted by leakers such as Riddler Koo, who's a leaker who's given real information in the past. And he kind of came up with a bit of a theory here about the legendaries. So, if you guys don't know, the legendaries have sort of already been given to us in terms of what typings they're going to be. It's going to be a Dragon Electric and Dragon Fighting one. We just don't know exactly what they're based on just yet. We do know that they're going to be some form of a dragon, but what kind we don't know. So, here we go. Mascot legendaries don't always have to be of a connection to the lore of the country the region is based on. Now, this is something that I mentioned, and he even makes fun of me at the bottom right here, saying, Ruffle, you had to wait for part 2, which is true. I should have waited for this one. But nonetheless, basically, I made the point that usually when they make a legendary for a brand new generation, and please listen to me here, when they make a legendary for a brand new generation or a brand new region, they never base those legendaries off of the mythology, history, or lore of said region or said country in real life. So for example, Kalos, which is based on France, does not have legendaries that are based on French mythology and French history. Instead, it has legendaries based on Norse mythology, so Swedish, Norwegian, and Danish ones. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the mythology is based on, which is Yggdrasil, the World Tree, etc. I just want to point that out because here's what he says. So, they don't always have the connection to the lore of the country they're based on. For Scarlet and Violet, I've been thinking about Greek lore, but what about Chinese? We found a Chinese dog and dragon called Panhu that could tie into the Koo puppy picture, which is this picture that was posted by Riddler Koo. If you don't know who he is, he's an actual real leaker that leaked Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl information that was 100% correct. And he's been giving us these riddles, and one of them is this dog with a chariot-looking thing on it, with these wheels. And we're speculating here, he's speculating in this case, that it could be based on this thing. So this was sent to me by Belmo, who says, it's really random, but I found out that there's a dragon dog creature in Chinese mythology called the Panhu. The mythology is that this creature turned itself into a human to better integrate itself into human society and marry a princess. It's known to be black-colored and lives amongst the clouds, so no one can see it, even though it directly looks down on Earth. They say that it is, but Asian dragons are known to look a lot more chimera-like than Western dragons. The description of the mythology I read about describes it as a dog-dragon hybrid. It can also turn into a human. If I were to give this a typing, I'd probably be giving it fighting, because the beast actually took the form of a human to slay the enemies of the Chinese emperor, which allowed it to marry the princess, which is, interesting take, but there you go, guys. So that's a little bit more details, I'm guessing, in this case. So here we go. That's the first part, right? If we go over here to the next post, we got this one, which is the basic, so Panhu, just the basic information about it, which, yes, makes it look more dog-like almost, which would fit in with this possibly. So let's continue. Now, here's what it says. Hong could be more so be the third legend of the trio, since it's related to the rainbows. Maybe it could even be somewhat based off of King Ghidorah to go with my Titan theory. However, this would mean we still have no clue what the Chinese dragon, the Scarlet Legendary, would be based off of. So that's the thing. We know that they're both some form of dragon of sorts, and now one of them seemingly is going to have, I'm guessing, a Chinese dragon design to it. Also, a big Chinese myth here. In Chinese mythology, Hong is a two-headed dragon that represents the rainbow. There's a big possibility that could happen, which is strange. I do wonder how that would look like, though, in Pokemon form, because that would be a bit mad, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, this was posted to Baidu a while ago. Translation mentions an Australian rainbow dragon, triple rainbow dragon. I've been pushing the peacock, but the third legends are typically dragon and anything rainbow goes. This could be something. If you have any idea of the Scarlet Dragon, reply. So this is what Poke Sutami, I'm guessing, I think translated here. I translated roughly. See the picture. They're speculating the Scarlet and Violet are based on the start and end of a rainbow, and that it was rumored to be Australian before confirmed to be Spain. The guy thinks that the box legendaries might be a rainbow snake. Interesting. And that's going to be the end of that part of it. But there is more information to take a look at in this case. Which I think is interesting. So first things foremost, there was somebody else mentioning specifically dragons in one of their posts, which is this 4chan riddle on like underneath my picture over here. If you guys look at this one, you'll notice there's something going on, right? So 4chan riddle seem to be lining up with the riding theme from Ku. And we got like, you know, this weird connection between bullet trains and Chinese dragons. I don't know if that's going to be the case here, but there is also another rumor, which is the one underneath me here, which we're going to take a look at the end of the video because it's a bit of a smaller one. But there is something big from one of you audience members who sent this my way. So if you guys haven't seen the Pokemon Masters game, which this does relate into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, just wait. But here's the deal, right? Pokemon Masters recently just had this big update, just the other day, literally yesterday, had this big update drop. And one of you viewers sent information to me saying, notice the colors in this. One is purple for, of course, Violet. The other is more orange and red for Scarlet, fitting in with the orange theme, right? And the other one fits in with the purple theme. Basically, those two colors are being used in promos for quite literally something unrelated to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Again, these colors are being used, which is very strange, okay? Now, you could make the argument, oh, that doesn't mean anything, but let's see what the viewer had to say here. So, Alvania, by the way, thank you so much for sharing this, saying, Giovanni has two Mewtwo's, and his son that I forgot his name has Ho-Oh, which is, of course, I'm guessing Silver. So, it's promoting an update with Celebi, Suicune, and Lugia, along with the corresponding outfits for May Crystal and female protagonist and male protagonist. So Ethan, I'm guessing in this case you're referring to, but Ho-Oh is a legendary and Mewtwo is a man-made or new age at the time Pokemon, along with Orange and Violet or Purple corresponding. This I feel like is part of Ku's riddle is most definitely confirmed. Scarlet is past and Violet is future. Hope this helps in theorizing. I sent the screenshots to Ku, but I'm not expecting an answer from them. By the way, how have things been? Neighbors keeping you awake? Yes, they still have. Yes. But either way, Alveda continues. But I'm sure it's true. Even the previous two Masters updates from a month ago confirm, if you ignore who's partnering with Ho in that video, the one from a month ago, but it's Morty though. It is what it is. So, continues on. I do apologize, it's a lot in a short amount of time, but either way, my brain kept thinking about if the Pokemon Company uses their other games like Masters EX to hint at upcoming generations, how many of these update videos could relate to Gen 9 besides the one Ku mentioned? Because Ku did drop a reveal for us in one of his previous tweets where it was about Pokemon Masters confirming the typings of it. Was about Trainer N and I think Cynthia in it and somebody else. I could be wrong. But basically what happened was, looking at that image, it basically confirmed the typings of the legends. Again, by the way, they do this all the time. If you don't think that they cross-promote, they do. They leave hints in other ones of their games. They literally added a whole new Pokemon to hint a whole new set of games with Meltan. Meltan was added in Pokemon Go as a way to hint towards Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. They do this kind of stuff. If you think that they don't, trust me, they do. We've had years of proof that they do it, and once again, it seems to be on the, you know, on the same area. And if you even look at this promo video here from Pokemon Masters EX, you can actually see that there literally is, I mean, besides like, you know, Silver and Giovanni being like, you know, doing his weird Giovanni things as usual, if you actually look at what's going on, both of these, so look, you got Ho-Oh coming in with Orange, and of course, on the other side, you got Violet literally popping in with me. I mean, this is so on the nose at this point, you know what I mean? And then, of course, you got to take into account, right? that with the characters here, right? We got Suicune, we got Celebi, and Lugia. Interestingly, one of those is a time travel Pokemon. Just a fair point to point out. One is a literal time traveling Pokemon, which relates to time. And this says Johto chapter of the villain arc ends. So you got these like different sync pairs. In this case, you've got who's this? Lyra and Celebi and whatnot. And my point is that I think that all these are related. I feel like there is a weird relationship between the promos they do for these and what we get at the end. Which, by the way, this artwork is sick. By the way, I love how Ethan looks in this. It looks badass. But my point is, I think there is a relationship here that can be seen, that they do use the different games to promote each other, and that's personally what I think. So let's continue on to the next thing, which is this right here from Blaze and Cinderol, saying the headmaster of the school is the professor. His assistant helps you during adventures. All right. Rival is a classmate. The first gym is ground. Seventh changes between Scarlet and Violet. A regional form Tauros plus Evo mount, Flygon, Heracross, and Seismitoad. The legendaries works like seventh. Different Pokemon, but same origin. Starters are Grass Dark, Fire Ghost, and I'm going to move my camera over here so you guys can see it. Grass Dark, Fire Ghost, Water Fighting, Pokemon Center Pokemon. Wait, Pokemon Center Pokemon is normal grass. Now, what he's referring to by Pokemon Center Pokemon is something like Chansey, a Pokemon that can heal other Pokemon of sorts, or a Pokemon that's supposed to be like the Pokemon within a Pokemon Center that heals other ones. So that's what I'm assuming. Then the headmaster, I'm guessing the principal, if you don't know what headmaster is the principal of the school. Who I guess is the professor of this game, with an assistant that helps you during your adventure. Your rival is your classmate, pretty straightforward. The first gym being ground, nothing too strange there. That seems pretty bog standard for Pokemon. Seventh change so seventh gym actually is different. So on the seventh gym, it would be different between Scarlet and Violet. But that's nothing crazy. That's like something that they've done even in Sword and Shield. I think they did that too. But I was on the seventh. I can't remember. But regional form Tauros plus Evo for mounting, then Flygon for, I'm guessing, flying, Heracross for whatever reasons, and Seismitoad. So they're getting regional forms, all of these guys. And legendaries work like a seventh, which I'm guessing legendaries work like seventh. It's a gym that they're different Pokemon, but same origin. Okay, interesting. That makes more sense. So they're implying that the legendaries would have the same principle like the gym that's the seventh one, that they basically work in the same way, but, the big but, that they essentially come from the same place, but they just work in a different way. They operate in a different way, which is a fair point, a fair way to look at it. And then starters being Grass Dark, pretty standard. Fire Ghost, pretty standard. Water Fighting, a bit different than expected, but still fair enough. So, and a normal Grass type for Pokemon Center Pokemon, that seems pretty interesting. So what do you guys think about that one? Let me know in the comment section down below. Personally, I'm going to give that one a 6 out of 10, because it's decently, not over the top, and some of the stuff does make a lot of sense. Flygon getting a form would be sick, by the way. Flygon is just a forgotten Pokemon made. Never got it to Mega, should have gotten it, but maybe a regional form is time for it. So, final thing here is from Blaze and Cinderol saying, just a theory, what if Chloe's Eevee doesn't evolve because marketing, but instead Lana's Eevee evolves, or both evolve into something new? If Lana's Eevee evolves into a Pokemon, what typing would it fit its personality? Well, somebody says, both. Chloe's poison, Lana's fighting. Perhaps the poison evolution is liquid, not a scorpion or sick. This is recently, it's a recently broadcast animation reported as missing. Venomon, I don't know. That's just a shiny one, I think. I could be wrong. But maybe the idea is that both will evolve into two different ones, right? Maybe we'll get two different evolutions that will just pop up. You never know. I feel like it wouldn't be too much off the beaten path to assume that could happen, that we get two evolutions introduced. If we get any, because I think a lot of people do want evolutions, and it's an easy way to just make a bunch of money on new TCG cards that are related to these guys, new merch, because guess what? People that love Eevee, there's a lot of those, okay? Eevee is literally a mascot of Pokemon. It's not maybe at the same level as Pikachu, but it's up there, okay? It's up there as one of the mascots. If you think of the mascots of Pokemon, you think of Pikachu, Charizard, and I would say Eevee is one of those, because Eevee is extremely popular, and adding another evolution it only benefits them rather than hurting them. So what do you guys think about that? And that's going to be the end of everything, guys. I want to get your thoughts and opinions on all the stuff we covered. The Masters EX connection. Is this color stuff they're showing off here just another hint towards, Scarlet and Violet or not? What do you think about that? Let me know in the comment section down below. I mean, there is the literal, the fact that Ho-Oh is more of a traditional Pokemon, and literally with a character, that's, from the most traditional Pokemon region of Johto, which has the most tradition, and relationship to, I think, what you might call it like Kyoto, so it's like more traditional old, whereas the other one is literally by the villain, which in this case would be with Mewtwo, which is a man-made, literally a man-made futuristic Pokemon. Which one do you guys like? What do you guys think about that? Because I think that shows us a clear dichotomy between, you know, Scarlet and Violet, future, past, present, you know, like the present time or the future time, I guess you want to call that, you know, with innovation, progression, with compared to the old times with, you know, the past, tradition, the way of those times, right? What do you think about that? Let me know, and that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye bye.